Now, this, I see the smiles on the viewers' faces as we're going through this. Lots of stories around this. Where is it resting today? What was it used for? Did it contain the tablets? Was it used as some kind of a weapon? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the weight of looking at that. I mean, I think this is one of the things that RV was designed to do. I mean, what an amazing opportunity to look at a target like this. I think that's an incredible experience to be able to pull this data. So are we ready for our debrief? We're going to start with Naim.
The next thing I see, and this is like the main thing I see in my session over and over again, I see like a person, they come flying down out of the sky, like almost like they're skydiving, but I think they're hanging on to something, high flying, coming down to land at a certain spot. Like I get like this has to do with landing at a certain spot. There's people who see this, they don't know what it is. They're just like, wow, there's people that point up and see this. Again, I see like someone moving like very high altitude in a high altitude air current. This was like an astronaut thing. Like you've seen those NASA things where they wear those, it's not a jetpack, but it's like a hydraulic backpack or something. It shoots out little air currents or something.
Right.
I get the word like sky flyer. People look at this and they say, what is that? They don't know what it is. Downward thrust, elevation. I see two people like, rise up really fast. And it's like they're wearing like jetpacks. That's the only word I can say to describe it. Like they just fly up. And I saw this as well. This is where I saw like 3 people in a formation flying high up, orange suits, like helmets.
Maybe that's where it is today. I honestly don't know. I mean, we could go back and say, well, maybe he's looking at stuff of the past, but that seems very present day stuff that you're drawing. So maybe you're looking at where the Ark's at today.
Yeah, some of it looked a little older, but not ancient old. Definitely not.
Right.
No.
Right. Okay. All right, Naim. Great session. I'm curious to see how that fits with the other viewers' data. Maybe that'll bring to light some more of your data as well. Let's move on to Dick Allgire's session and see what he has for us, Dick.
First thing I want to do is make the case for visual ideogram in the first 2 seconds, getting a visual representation of the target. So the very first thing I drew was that down here in the left corner.
Oh, you got the wings. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I drew something like that too, actually, right at the beginning.
I keep seeing words flashing. I can make out letters, but I can't form. I can see words, but I can't, if it's either a language I don't know, or even English is a language I don't know when I'm in remote viewing. So there's garbled words flashing on a screen, bright letters. I can't read them, but classified, censored. Inside the structure, they're speaking in an old language that I don't understand, but it's an old language. There's a chandelier above them with like candles. Old contracts come due. Something that was written long ago will be brought from the archives, dusted off and implemented. A harbinger. Big ceremony associated with this, like how they would make a Thai temple in Tibet. Is this still intact? It is, but it's not in its original form. This old structure is ornate wood like heavy oak, ornamented from a place with old stones from the old world. It's connected. In one place, you could have a stone, or at one point an ancient tree. Another place could be a stone or a cairn, another marked by an obelisk. So you have a stone in Europe, an obelisk in North America, and a temple in Asia, and they're all connected. China wants to take it, but they may be too material-minded. Cosmic spiritual power amplified at these places. Rituals have been done. Most don't remember the meaning. The meaning gets diverted as it's passed down. That was an intense session. I'm fucking wired just talking about that. But that felt real old and passed down to me, like old religious tradition.
You nailed it, Dick. So Edward, you have the floor, sir.
Okay. Wow, man, this is really crazy. I got some corroborating stuff in here with Dick's work and with Naim's work. So let's get
let's
it
do
on,
it.
man.
Let's see.
All right. So my going into this session, I had this strong impression of an arrival of something. So that was like an essence of something that was starting me off, like a scheduled date, arrival of something, but of what? It has to do with the sky and space, like a satellite in orbit. It might turn on or go live with turn on or go live with something, but what? Like a new use of the satellite? I was in this modern day stuff, so I how it relates to this target, I have no idea. Does the reference of arrival relate to it being turned on? Is what I wanted. This object reaches its destination on schedule. It is set to be in place on a specific date. It has then arrived. So I don't know. Maybe the Ark of the Covenants. Maybe they're moving it or something. But what is a home location? A vectoring target location, a pinpointed location. What is interesting about this location, though, I'm wondering? It's something dangerous. But what is dangerous? A location that is off limits. But off limits, why, I wonder? Secret base or facility. But for what use? And it had a military feel, like a base. There are levels of secrecy that I will respect. That's fine. What is it about? What is it about this place that I know that is less intrusive? Because the feeling was that I was coming upon some things that, you have to be a bit respectful about when you come around something, the level of sensitivity that I was perceiving here. But what is the timeline for what this represents, though, I wonder? There is a continual series of events that, though what this target represents does not obey the laws of time as we know it. But what the hell does that mean? There is a bending of light and dark matter that fluctuates in ways that are outside our perimeters of theoretical laws. It is here already, and it is not here. It exists in this would be considered, to exist in this, it would be considered a time and space law. To exist in this, in this, what I'm talking about here, this, to exist in this would be considered a time and space lord, but they don't call it that.
Wow.
God damn, dude.
I mean,
I
that's,
don't know what any of that shit means.
I mean, I could
this
spend
target
hours
thing.
going through that.
It was a
Not
device
backing.
for communication with Godmind.
There you go.
Yeah.
That would.
We had
that would bring it
communication.
into
Yeah,
it.
maybe they're using it now in a military application.
And it was
The whole
also a weapon as
communication
well.
aspect.
It was
Yeah.
claimed that any army that had the Ark was undefeatable.
Well, undefeatable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Very, very, very interesting. That was a very intense session. I can't wait to see what Daz.
Ed,
And it's
you
got,
had
it's got a
people
Knights
landing,
Templar
right?
connection as well. They apparently had it for a few centuries.
Who
The
did?
Templars. Yeah, the Templars.
Templars.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because we know it was definitely in the Dome on the Rock in Jerusalem at one point.
Mhm.
It was stored there, and then it disappeared when the city was sacked. And there is allegedly now in a church in Ethiopia, but there's all these rumors that it's in the Oak Island money pit, and it's somewhere in America. There's all these different rumors, really.
Wow. Crazy. Wow. What a
Apparently,
target.
it's a part of some military operation right now. Looking at what these guys are pulling back, but
Well, I mean, probably one of the main interests of this session related to the target is how it's being guarded. And that's pretty interesting. So,
yeah, great session, Edward. Thank you. All right, last but certainly not least, Daz Smith. Let's take a look at what you brought back.
I didn't get anything physical on the box holding anything, but we'll go for what I got anyway. So I start off with this real energetic ideogram here. Lots of energy coming from it, and I had a real emotional feel to this target. Again, another energy ideogram for me here. Felt like it was lots of expanding energy that felt attractive, and I had an AOL of a magnetic feel to it. And it feels like it was all to do with space, a vast amount of space, which was like a cold, dark void, almost like a black hole. And it had a circular movement to this energy as well, with a wide arc of travel to it, which I tried to draw in a bit more detail. And it was very bright, lots of light, almost like an explosion of intense energy, a self-sustaining energy, which is volatile, like a spark of life, almost like, the creation of life itself. But big, massive, and vast. And then I tried to draw them in a bit more detail. So these are almost like little, like tubular wormhole type tunnels, but they felt like they were alive. My final note was, this feels so surreal that I'm gonna stop here, because I didn't really know what I was getting, and we don't really have sessions like that very often.
That was intense. It's neat looking at the tendrils, the wormholes, that are floating around here.
Yeah, freaky stuff. The weird thing is, I didn't really get anything felt tangible in any sense of the word.
I think you pull in the energy. Yeah, the energy of maybe that's the technology or the power of the Ark, what the Ark is.
But we also know, it involves stuff that was given to Moses from God. So
And
what that could be,
who or what was God? I mean, that could have been anything at this point. So great data, great sessions by everybody. Anybody have any commentary or feedback before we go ahead and end this one?
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe the current day it's at a military base.